Hello, and this is Theme Park Squib, and welcome to the last show of 2017. Yes, it's the last show of this year. We have all the favourites, Future of the Parks, Guess the Ride, which at the moment is Guess the Maze, because I've been doing that over Halloween, Future of the Parks, Shout-Outs, and Poll Time. And news this week's not going to be usual news. It's going to be me talking about my highlights of 2017. Let's get into news. This week in news, I will be talking about my highlights of this year. What a great year it has been. Ever since January, it's been a fantastic year. Starting off the Legoland Hotel vlog, our first one, and that has made this year so good. That is the start of the year. Then Animal Adventures Week at Chessington. Then the show kicked back in again for 2017. Then we went to the Chessington World of Adventures Annual Pass Preview Day. Then the Gruffalo River Ride Adventure Opening Day at Chessington. And then the Fort Park Annual Pass Preview Day. Then we also had a trip to Legoland and Adventure Island in around Easter time. And then we had a massive Easter trip where we went to Alton Towers for 2 days. The Alton Towers Extraordinary Golf, the Merlin attractions up in Manchester, and Warwick Castle. That was a fantastic trip. Then, not slightly after that, we went up to Drayton Manor, and then we were at Chessington the day after. I did not film that day because it was only to pick up our annual passes. Then after that, I went to Fort Park again and Legoland again before summer kicked in, where I went back to Chessington when I got back from my holiday in the Canary Islands. Then after that, I went to Fort Park. Yes, I went back to Fort Park for another day, not Fright Nights. Then we got the announcement that Dragon Falls will be closing, so I went straight back to Chessington to see that ride closing. Then after that, I was back at Fort Park for Fright Nights. Then after that, I was at the first weekend of the Halloween stuff where I done Legoland Brick or Treat and Chessington's Halloween. Then the next weekend, I went to Alton Towers Scarefest and the Warwick Castle Haunted Castle. I forgot about something that was happened before Fort Park and Chessington again. It was when I went to Alton Towers for an Enchanted Village stay in the water park. That was a fantastic trip. And yeah, it's been such a fantastic year. The highlight for me this year is really, really hard because I've had so many great highlights this year. Getting on Derwent Brown for the first time, doing Fright Nights for the first time, seeing Creepy Caves Unearthed, seeing Fort Park this year, which I really enjoyed, all the new soundtracks, and X getting redone this year, Chessington for Gruffalo, the Adventure Tree, Alton Tales, the CBeebies Land expansion, and Hex reopening for this year, and Legoland winning Ninjago World. It's been just a fantastic year this year, so I can't say what my favourite memory was. It's been such a great year with so many good memories and rides that I've experienced this year. Favourite scare maze of this year is Creepy Caves Unearthed. I really, really enjoyed that. I think it was better than the Fort Park ones, but the theming in there was fantastic. It wasn't as scary as the Fort Park ones, but the theming. That scene where you're in the lab watching the flare and then that zombies banging on the window behind you, that was a really big scare in that attraction. I really did enjoy that. My favourite new ride of this year was finally getting on Derwent Brown, but this year I had Derwent Brown Rise of the Demon. I know what's coming now, but I think next year they're probably going to overhaul it again because they're probably doing that every year now. And yeah, it's been such a great year. And let's get into merchandise. I will show you 2 pin badges I've got over Halloween. First one is not a Halloween pin badge, it's this Warwick Castle pin badge. I'm going to keep this in the packet because I love that artwork on there. And it's just the castle. I think it was the best pin, but Warwick Castle are getting pins with the Chessington background now, which they are trying to bring pins to Merlin, basically, make them very, very big. Next we have one which was probably special for Halloween. We have Chessington's Halloween. What I don't like about this one is not like the Fort Park Fright Nights one, because the Fort Park Fright Nights one did have 2017 on it, so this is probably going to get re-released for next year's Halloween with not a year. But if it did have a year, I would buy next year's one. If it said Chessington Halloween 2018, I would buy it. I missed out on the Alton Towers Scarefest pin. There was none left in the shop. Let's get into Guess the Maze. This week in Guess the Maze, I will only reveal last week's Guess the Maze. I will not set you a new Guess the Maze because the show will start up again in March. I haven't decided what week in March. It's usually the first week of March that it starts up again. But I'm not doing a guess the Mays. It's just stupid because I will forget and it's going to take forever and loads of people are going to guess it. Last week's, and it will be, if I did do it, was a Guess the Ride anyway, because Guess the May was only for Halloween. Guess the Maze last week was Saw Alive, live action horror maze. No one got that. Everyone was saying the Big Top on Platform 15. Platform 15, this is its second year. The Big Top is its third year. Saw Alive was a permanent attraction when it opened in 2010. But for 2013 it closed after a few days and then reopened at Fright Night, so it's been doing that ever since. And it's 2017 now, so it's been so long for that maze being Fright Night, and it is the longest maze at Thorpe Park. Let's get into Future of the Parks. Future of the Parks. I hope in Future of the Parks this week that Alton Towers do SW8 well, because there was a news report on ITV News and they said that it's going to be themed like nothing Alton Towers have ever done before. So is it going to be very well themed? It's looking so at the moment, and it's going to be a wooden roller coaster. It's been over it'll be 22 years when it opens since the last wooden coaster opened in the UK, and that was Megaphobia at Oakwood in Wales. That's been so long since a wooden coaster's opened in the UK. We have so many, mainly at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and some very classic ones dotted here and now, like Great Yarmouth roller coaster. So let's get into poll time. Poll time, I will reveal the results of last week's poll. Same with Guess the Maze / Guess the Ride. I'm not going to do one over the massive break period until March because I will forget, and I'm struggling at the moment to memorise it. But this week I actually did memorise it, and it's going to be very hard for me to memorise that, and I'll get loads of votes. So the results, last week's poll, I asked you what was better, Alton Towers Scarefest or Thorpe Park Fright Nights. Most people voted that Alton Towers Scarefest was the best out of them, so Alton Towers Scarefest won the poll. Let's get into shout-outs. The last shout-outs of 2017, so no one got Guess the Maze right, no one got that right this week. So the comments, Jack George, thank you for commenting. Casper Studio 123, thank you for commenting. Gordon Giles, thank you for commenting. Dan, thank you for commenting. And Jack-O-Lantern Edwards, thank you for commenting. First we have the poll voters, which only was Jack-O-Lantern Edwards. Next we have our questions. Carl Livermore asks, where should another theme park be built in the UK? I think in Kent, where that Paramount thing went, that project for Paramount was just gone, I think they will be perfect. And if that Paramount's ever going to get built, rumours it's going to be called the London Resort, I hope it does get built, and in Kent. Jack-O-Lantern Edwards asked a whole lot of questions this week. How many non-Merlin parks have you been to? This is very hard. I've been at over 10, I think. I've been to Florida, Drayton Manor, and a few dotted around the UK, but I don't know how many, because that is quite hard for me. What's your favourite theme park map? There's two. I do like the Chessington style maps, but they've ruined them in the last few years. I love the Thorpe Park maps. They're my favourite design. But the style I like is the White Castle maps. They're a really nice style. That's really nice, and I love the Thorpe Park styles. They're really, really nice. If you given the option to buy any old ride train, what train would you buy? I would buy something that I've actually been on. Or something like maybe a capsule from Peking Heights, if that ride's closed. Or a seat from Slammer or something. But they're flat rides, not a roller coaster. I can't think of any roller coasters I've been on which have closed. I would love a train from the Corkscrew, the classic ride at Alton Towers, which was one of the best rides people are saying in the UK, and it's so iconic. And his next question's, how many rides have you been on? I cannot answer that. About over 150, I think. I cannot answer that question because it will take me ages and I'll probably forget something and I'll upset a few people. So, yeah. Wood or steel coasters? I prefer steel, but I do like wood. But maybe my opinion will change next year after I ride Secret Weapon 8. So, yes, the show does start again in March. I do not know which day yet in March. I don't know which week either. It's probably going to be the first week of March. make it fresh before the theme parks open. And I hope, I don't know which day, and it could be weekend or could be a weekday. I do not know yet because I've got ages, and I will plan it accordingly when I get in that time. This weekend I will be going to Adventure Island, so I may film it, I may not, I don't know yet. So yeah, also put some YouTube channels down below after this long break I'm going to have, so I can watch them, because there's nothing going to be doing after the show. And yeah, and over the period when the show is not on, I will be doing different content. There will be vlogs, and there will be my Christmas series returning for this year. I did enjoy doing that, and yeah, so there'll be different videos coming on, vlogs, and the Christmas series returning for this year. But it's ages away from Christmas, and I saw a Christmas advert on the telly last night, and like we're over a month away now, and it's crazy. And yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, put nice comments down below, and I'll see you in my next show. Bye!